Welcome back. You're watching Mirror at 1. Now, our next story is coming from the South Asian University in the national capital. What started as a dispute over non-vegetarian food on Mahashivratri quickly escalated into a full-blown alleged clash between two student groups. Now, let's tell you, a massive altercation broke out in the university mess last night, with the SFI and ABVP accusing each other of instigating violence. Now, the SFI here claims that ABVP members attacked students for refusing to stop serving non-vegetarian food on Mahashivratri. But the ABVP fired back, alleging that it was SFI members who forcibly tried to serve non-veg food in a mess meant for fasting students. Let's also tell you the Delhi police, meanwhile, have taken cognizance of a viral video showing students being surrounded and abused inside of the university mess hall.
तो महाशिवरात्रि पर जिन भी छात्र छात्राओं ने व्रत रखा था उन सबको सात्विक खाना प्रोवाइड किया जा रहा था और ये व्यवस्था डीन ऑफ स्टूडेंट द्वारा की गई थी। तो सुबह तो हम लोगों को सात्विक खाना मिल चुका था, बट दोपहर को जब हम लंच करने के लिए जा रहे थे तो लंच में सात्विक खाने के बगल में नॉनवेज खाना भी रखा हुआ था। तो हमने मेस मैनेजर और मेस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव से बोला कि आप इस नॉनवेज खाने को हटवा दीजिए, थोड़ा अलग रखवा दीजिए। तो उन्होंने हमसे बोला कि नहीं, ये नॉनवेज खाना इसके बगल में ही रखा रहेगा, अगर आपको खाना है तो आप खा लीजिए, वरना कोई बात नहीं। तो फिर हमने अपने साथ के PhD वाले भैया हैं उनको बुलाया, उन्होंने भी उन लोगों से बात करी और बोला कि इस खाने को साइड हटवा दीजिए। तो उन्होंने नहीं हटवाया और इसके बाद वो हम लोगों से गाली गलौज करने लगे।
I'm joined in by my guests this afternoon. Let me take the opportunity to introduce them. Ashish Singh, State Joint Secretary, ABVP, as well as Dr. Jairaj B, political analyst. Good afternoon to the both of you. Thank you very much for taking the time out. Mr. Singh, let me begin with you. Given the fact that, ABVP claims to protect culture, but how does this justify violence? In terms of the fact that it's about food choices at the end of the day, and that is an individual choice.
Yeah, as you said, food choices are an individual choice, but I think you are asking this question, how does it justify violence to the wrong organization and the wrong people? We wanted to follow our faith. The students at SAU wanted to observe their fast on Mahashivratri, and they had given a written letter with names of 110 students who would be observing the fast, and they had asked for Sattvic food. When there were two messes and a separate mess was arranged for those students, and separate Sattvic food was arranged for them, why was it necessary to keep fish there where the students were having the Sattvic food prepared for fast? Those very same students eat with all the non-veg eating students every day. They don't have an issue. But since it was fast, they just asked that they be allowed to follow their faith in peace. Why does it disrupt SFI so much? Why does it disturb them so much? Why are they always at the forefront of such nuisance? Be it Jamia Millia Islamia University, where students are stopped from celebrating Diwali. Be it JNU, where on Durga Puja they do the Mahisasur Puja. There have been instances of them that where on Saraswati Puja you hear that in some university they are putting up nude pictures of Ma Saraswati. So why is the question always asked from those following the Hindu faith? We did not go and disturb anybody. The students observing fast did not go and disturb anybody. The mess secretary who belonged to SFI pinpointedly came there, kept a bowl of fish next to the Sattvic food that was being served to the students, and created a mess out of all of this.
All right, while you make those opening remarks and you're going on to state that in a sense this was done deliberately, let me get in Dr. Jairaj there. Dr. Jairaj, yes. How do you look at it? The food and festival debate being politicized to divide students should just be kept off campus.
See, this thing happened in JNU before. Earlier, these ABVP people started doing homos in their hostel rooms and disturbing other children's attitude. And that was a huge issue a few years before. And this year, they are focusing on food. See, what to eat and what not to eat is one subjective matter. It should not be opposed on somebody else. They should eat Sattvic food or non-veg food or whatever it may be. If they are following some religious ceremony, they should have followed in their rooms. Why should they follow in the open mess where everybody eats non-veg food? If
So,
somebody eats
Dr.
non-veg
Jairaj-
food near you and you're eating sattvic food, what is wrong in that? It is a matter of tolerance. They are intolerant. They are religious fanatics. They are hooligans. They are rowdies. They are disrupting the communal structure of this country. What we expect from this type of students, they should be
Mr. Singh,
legal
would you
action
want
should
to
be
counter that if there are
promptly.
beliefs, it should be stuck to the room, and more importantly, given the way Dr. Jairaj is looking at this entire matter?
Basically saying is that someone eating sattvic food, someone worshipping, someone doing a puja should stick to their room, while there should be iftar parties on the road, there should be namaz on the road. Is this what secularism is, Dr. Jairaj, for you? I am appalled by your vision of secularism. Why, when it comes to secularism, only those students who are following their Hindu faith be called out? And that when they are following it in peace. What is wrong with eating sattvic food?
Non-veg food, what is wrong in that? What is wrong in that? How can you impose? You are always saying about Sarva Dharma Samabhavana. And where is Sarva Dharma Samabhavana according to you? You are saying something and doing just the opposite. You are disrupting the peace inside the campus. You are following religious rituals inside the campus. You are disturbing the learning environment. You students are supposed to study in the campus, not to do religious activities inside the campus. You are supposed to learn. You are supposed to learn. You are supposed to do research on your particular topic rather than doing.
Does not include learning about oneself. Learning does not include learning about one's history. Learning does not include learning about one's
individually.
Culture.
Why is intolerance from other religion? Why is intolerance from non-vegetarian?
A narrow definition.
Say you should go to some Kashi, Rameshwar or something like that.
Learning about different cultures, different
not in campuses. No, in campuses, the religiosity cannot be accommodated. Any type of religion, any type of religion.
Multiculturalism.
All right, taking that point of what Dr. Jairaj is pointing out, Mr. Singh, he is, stressing on the fact that religious issues should be kept out of campus.
Ma'am, I'm asking who made this a religious issue? There were 110 students who were fasting. They have the right to get their food from the mess. They are members of the university. They get their food from the mess. How did, when the DOS arranged proper sattvic food for them, how was someone else allowed to bring in fish curry and throw it on them? Did the person who threw the fish curry make it an issue? Or did the person silently, peacefully eating his sattvic food make it an issue? Is that not apparent? And why people like Jairaj, when they have to talk about religious tolerance, why do they only talk about Hindu students and talk about denying their rights? These people have no issue when iftar parties are celebrated in all the universities. These people have no issues when Christmas is celebrated in all the universities.
Dr. Jairaj, the way Mr. Singh looks at it is that there's selective outrage, and moreover, is it about creating ideological dominance rather than cultural, respect?
Yes, it's a matter of tolerance. It's a matter of tolerance. They are intolerant. These people are intolerant. That's why they are not allowing
Mr. Singh, I'll come back to you. I'm just going to get in a word from Dr. Jairaj, and I will give you that opportunity to...
See, one of my friends,
yes,
is and he was accused as a Christian. He was accused as a Christian being opposed to doing homas in the hostel room. With proof, I am saying that he was asking me, am I a Christian? The first time in his life, he is saying that he's knowing that he's a Christian. He doesn't follow any religion. And his name is Professor Burton Cletus in History Department. And these people have disturbed the whole learning atmosphere of the campus. They are coming there for learning or to create problems. They want to eat sattvic food, let them eat that. Now somebody wants to eat non-veg food, they let them eat that. What is the problem in that? Now they are accusing of throwing fish curry and all. This is simply cannot be tolerated. This is act of fanaticism, religious fanaticism, hooliganism and rowdyism from the part of
Mr. Singh, would you like to counter that, given the viewpoint that Dr. Jairaj has and the way that he's looking at this entire matter that is panned out?
Pardon? Could you repeat that, please?
Would you want to counter how Dr. Jairaj is essentially looking at the way, he's talking about the aspect of how, once again, this should be, an individual choice is one aspect of it, but keep it away from campuses at the end of the day, because we're looking at visuals as well as to what really panned out. And at the end of the day, violence is not the solution or the answer.
I'll first give me a minute to put forth the incidents of the day. What happened there? I think our viewers also deserve to know. 110 students submitted it in writing to the DOS that they want Sattvic food since they are having a fast on Mahashivratri. They were allowed to have Sattvic food. There are two separate messes there. There is a bigger mess and a smaller mess. In a smaller mess, arrangements were made for them. A mess secretary who belongs to SFI, while the students were having Sattvic food, brought about fish curry, kept it next to them. The students peacefully requested that every day we sit with you and eat. There are no issues in the South whatsoever. Students from different culture, different nationalities stay there and study there. For once, today is our festival. You please take this away and let us have our food in peace. She started shouting. She started fighting with them. And when the students tried to go away from there, when they tried to remove the fish curry from there, she threw it on them. This is what the incident was. I don't know what picture Mr. Jairaj is trying to paint. I don't know what world he lives in, but we have been seeing this happen time and again across campuses. There are some particular people of a particular ideology who cannot digest anything that is good that is happening in this country. If a Mahakumbh happens, if 60 crore people follow their faith and unabashedly show that they are Hindu, that they are proud of their culture, that they are proud of religion, that they are proud of their heritage, without poking their nose into anyone else's business, someone from the background of SFI, someone from the background of communism comes and starts poking their nose in. What was wrong with those 110 students peacefully celebrating Mahashivratri? What is wrong if someone wants to offer puja in their room? What is wrong if the students want to do Saraswati puja in a campus? What is this not India? Is this not Bharat? If we will not be allowed to offer prayer to our
if they want to do
Ma Saraswati, who is the goddess of knowledge, if we will not be allowed to observe even our fast, then
Right, Dr. Jairaj.
Religious, these students, campuses are not for religious worship and faith. If you have faith, keep it in your pocket. If you have a religious faith, keep it in your pocket. You are a student.
You can keep your ideology. You can write your ideology on your forehead and walk around. And we are being asked to keep our faith in our pocket.
JNU is the think time of India where a lot of intellects were developed by that university. And these
realize 60 crore people visited Mahakumbh. The Hindu of this country is not afraid to show their faith. And the students of this country are not afraid to show their faith.
ABVP students thrashing students inside the library.
It is trying to create divisions between the students.
What is happening in JNU? What is happening
just peacefully having their Sattvic food. What is wrong with that?
ABVP people are there. They are creating problems. That is
Wherever
the thing.
ABVP is there, it stands up to people like you. It stands up to people like SFI trying to stop the people of India from following their faith, from following their religion. This is why you don't like ABVP. But let me tell you, sir, ABVP will keep standing up to people like you. Will keep standing up to goons like those in the Constitution of India says that we'll keep standing up to people in Jamia who try to disturb Diwali. We'll keep standing up to people in JNU who try to celebrate Mahishasur,
go to a mosque and do it there.
Who try to celebrate Mahishasur. We'll keep standing up to people
you are not allowed to worship. You are not allowed to
use obscene pictures of our gods and goddesses.
You can celebrate Diwali. You can celebrate Holi. You can celebrate Shivratri or whatever it may be, but not impose on others what you should eat. What not to eat.
You cannot, but will not let you impose this thought that we should not be proud of our religion.
All right, Dr. Jairaj, as you make that point about how it should not be imposed, Mr. Singh, let me ask you this. You know, with food and festivals also becoming a political tussle in itself and viewpoints coming into that, do you also see this affect the true spirit of student activism as well in the larger spirit of things? The larger scheme of things, rather.
Yes, it's going to affect the students because the learning and environment is lost. They are into religious activities and some other hooliganism or fanaticism that is going to affect the learning environment of the students. It is doing no good to the student. It is disrupting the peace inside the campus. It is disrupting the think tanks that India should produce. We have a lot of think tanks from there, lot of intellectual from that university. Now what we are hearing from JNU is so sad to hear all these things. Just because of intolerance from such part of ABVP students. Especially ABVP students are trying to create a lot of problem in JNU, in Jamia Millennium Islamia, and wherever they are creating religious intolerance. And that is going to affect the secular fabric of the country. That is going to affect the secularism of the country. We should be in the notion that
Mr. Singh, how do you counter that, given the fact that strong opinions by Dr. Jairaj as well, calling it intolerance by the ABVP?
Mr. Jairaj is saying that the members of ABVP are one creating intolerance. Mr. Jairaj, please wake up from the deep sleep you have been in. The students of this nation are with ABVP. In JNU, ABVP is the single largest student party. It takes around 10 different parties to combine and contest elections against ABVP, and still they barely manage to win. In Jamia, the students are coming in support of ABVP in larger and larger numbers, and it is not just about religion. What happened in Jamia during the Deepavali celebration was that Muslim female and male students, along with Hindu students, were celebrating Deepavali. But some people could not digest this spirit of harmony being fostered in the country, and they tried to break that apart. Similarly, in South, people could not digest that.
All right, Mr. Singh, on that note, I have to interject you because we're also running out of time. But appreciate you as well as Dr. Jairaj